you are. I'm glad you finally made it. You said that traffic was absolutely horrendous. I'm glad that you're finally here. What's going on? You never call me, let alone at 4 a.m. to meet you here at our favorite spot in the gardens. Unless either A, something really good has happened to you, or B, something really bad. And no offense, but judging by how you look, it looks like the latter to me. What do I mean by how you look? I mean, have you seen yourself? Not to sound rude or anything, but you're usually so well put together. Or at least decently. You look like you haven't slept very well for the past couple of days. And it almost looks like your eyes are swollen and puffy. And have you been crying? Okay, you are. It's definitely the latter. I've never seen you cry over something happy before, so it's the other way. It's the other one for sure. Oh, okay, so before we get into any of the sad, any of the crazy, I got you something, just in case it was a more negative topic that we were going to talk about as opposed to happy. I guess it would work out for either scenario, but in this case, my gut told me this would probably be better in case it was not so happy. I mean, I have these whenever I'm upset. Shoot, I probably gave it away. Look here. I know it's a tiny box. Why in the world would I have to hide this? If you think about it, nowadays, you can never be too sure. I mean, nowadays people like to start questioning and making assumptions. I mean, it's just a little box wrapped up in cute paper. But enough of me ranting about that type of thing. Here, open it. Ta-da! It's your favorite type of cupcake. And your favorite color has the frosting. Yeah, of course I made it. Does it really look that professional? I mean, other than the obvious fact that the frosting got a little bit smushed. You really think so? I'm glad. I have about 24 more at home. So after this, if you want, we can go back there and just pig out on cupcakes. That's all up to you. We'll talk about what to do after we talk. So, now that that's out of the way, tell me, what's going on? Your best friend is here to listen, so give it to me. What's gotten you so upset? Of course I remember them. Well, I told you how I felt about them. I was right. Oh. I'm sorry. Of course I mean it. I might have been right about them, but a breakup is never fun to go through. Here, let me give you a hug. Tell me, how did this happen? You guys really liked each other, right? At least I know you liked them, and for all I knew, they liked you. Oh, wow. Well, regardless of any situation, they missed out on a total treasure. No, I don't mean that just because you're my best friend and that's my job. I really mean it. You are such a kind, fun, loving, and amazing person. And they didn't notice it. They didn't see it. They didn't recognize it, so they didn't deserve it. They don't deserve you. If they weren't willing to stick around, no matter what the situation is or was or ever will be, then they didn't deserve you. No, 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 no. Hey, no, we're not going down that path. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not messed up. There's nothing you're lacking in looks or personality, no matter what you may think, to make them leave. The truth of the matter, I guess, is they were dumb. Extremely dumb. Even while I didn't exactly like them, I too thought that they were going to stick around. So I guess they kind of pulled the wool over both of our eyes. Of course, I will admit when I thought I was wrong. So, yeah. But it turns out I was right anyway. Now, of course, I'm not going to hang that over your head. But listen, regardless of what they said, what they did, to make you feel so bad about this, because usually you take things like this in stride, or at least better stride than I do. You, of all people, don't deserve this kind of heartache, this kind of pain, these sleepless nights. Of course I mean it. You deserve the best because you are the best, at least in my opinion. You, when you're in a relationship, be it a little more casual or more committed, you really put your all into each one. Regardless of whether or not you guys agree to it, it's you who always goes above and beyond expectations to make sure that they're happy, whether or not they deserve it. And of course, sadly, they seem to take it for granted, and when they leave, which I've told you before and I still believe it, not every one of them will, you're left here in tears and frustrated and upset. And it breaks my heart as your best friend to see you suffer through this. Of course. You know I'm here for you. And you know if you allowed me to, I would march right over to where they lived and had a few words with them. As my mom would say, a few choice words with them. Oh yes, you know me. I can be extremely vicious. At least verbally. I'm too small to be able to do anything physically. But I digress. When I say that you deserve the best, and that you are the best, I mean it, best friend. And I promise you, you are going to pull through this. How do I know? Because I've seen you through the good, the bad, and some ugly. Oh boy, we're not gonna touch that subject. But no matter what's happened to you, especially up to this point, you never let it stop you from moving forward and living your life. You never let it knock you down, at least for a very long time. You know how to take care of yourself. And I can see you pulling through it, because you've done it before. And if you've done it before, you will definitely be able to do it again. I have faith in you. You're a strong person. And you also have me. You know that I will always be there for you, through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You truly are amazing. And I know that while this hurts, and trust me, you have a right to hurt. You can feel awful as long as you need to. But remember, even though this is just the worst thing that's going on right now, you know at the back of your head that you will make it through this. Like I've said, you've done it before and you can do it again. As many times as it takes. You are a fighter. And even when you are tired, you know that you can always turn to me. And I will pep talk you, smack some sense into you, whichever one works. I will do that. And I'll make sure that you get back up on your feet. I mean, we've practically become siblings at this point based off of how many times we've helped each other. So really, it's no big deal. And don't you dare start telling me that I don't have to do this. I don't have to make you feel better. I don't have to stay on the phone while you vent or rant. Because you know that I know this. And you also know that I want to do this. Because I care about you. You're my best friend and I love you. And I want to make sure that you're okay. I will always be here for you to make sure you're doing the right thing, following your dreams, and especially to remind you that you are tough, strong, resilient, and you can make it through anything and everything that this world throws at you. As well as the fact that you are 1 in a million, and you deserve the world, if not the entire universe. Yes, I mean it. Of course I do. And I also mean it when I say that I will always be there for you. You've always been there for me, so why wouldn't I? Exactly. There's no excuse. So just believe me when I say it. You really are amazing, and that you are really going to pull through all of this. You're welcome. I'm really glad that we had this talk, and it's good to see you smile, even if it's just a tiny one. You look a little happier now too, and I'm sure once you start eating that cupcake, you'll feel even better. Well, yeah, because I also had maybe 1 or 2 cupcakes before I got here, so I can tell you from experience that it's a pretty good one. So, what do you think you're going to do? Like, to move on? Once you're ready to move on, of course. Huh? What do I do? Well, after listening to a couple of sad songs, I listen to my favorite hype songs, which, you know, I have a lot of. And then I start going through the stuff that reminds me of them. Be it little gifts that they gave me, or a letter, or something as tiny as, I don't know, a rock. Whatever it is that reminds me of them. Oh, or a photo. Whatever it is, I trash it. I get rid of it. Because that chapter with them in it is now closed. And a new chapter of me improving myself as a person, as well as preparing myself for a new possible romance, is opening, and it is currently underway. But to me, that chapter can never truly start until everything is ready. And most importantly, until you feel ready. And that could take as little as a week or as long as a year. But either way, that's okay. It doesn't matter. You take all the time you need, and when you feel like you're prepared and ready to go back into that dating world, then you go for it. Dive into it. Hmm? Oh, you know that I am always down to help you get rid of some old things, and especially remove stuff from your exes. It's always my favorite. Plus, it's always good therapy for you too. Just to say, screw it all. Goodbye. Okay, how about this? Let's go back to my place. We'll eat a few cupcakes and probably some real food. Watch a couple of shows, kind of wind down and chill out for a bit. And then, if you're ready, we'll go to your place and start cleaning things up. Alright, well, let's get going.